Well, pretty exciting day and humbling. It's been a pretty good process and a lot of people involved and a lot of people to thank, including not just the national team office in Oklahoma City and not just our university here with a great president and great athletic directors that allowed me to do this type of stuff, but selection committee has the faith and the trust, and the program will continue successfully, and also about all the players that once the United States national team did not have an opportunity to participate in the Olympics after 2008, all the players that kept the program alive in that time will never be forgotten. And to come through 2016, when the bid for baseball and softball was accepted by the IOC, which was a pretty emotional day for a lot of people in the program, to winning the Olympic bid last year at the World Championships in Chiba, to finally today knowing that personally I get a chance to complete that mission and bring back the gold medal to the United States has been it's been pretty exhilarating and, like I said, humbling. So very, very proud of our program, very proud of our players, and looking forward to a lot of work over the next 2 years.
Coach, has this been something you've been anticipating? How did this sort of all go down? Can you kind of explain the process?
Yeah, the process is tedious, okay, because it's a yearly contract, a yearly non-paying contract. So you're basically putting a lot of your life on hold for a dream of 15 young women that will get to go and participate in the Olympics. And having been in the 2004 games, I know how exhilarating it is just to get there, but I also know how exhilarating it is to win a gold medal. And so that type of stuff, to continue on and give 15 other people a chance to do that, to be part of that and help the journey get there, has been great. But now to be able to be also going and having our philosophy continue on in winning ways and hopefully end up on top again it's been great. Hasn't been easy. It's been a lot of waiting, but I don't really think about it as like, are you going to get there? Are you going to be the person that's going to be at the? It's what my mandate was for that year. And so for right now, it's probably been the earliest part that I've been named a coach for the following year, but it also takes the pressure off everybody as far as arrangements go. It also takes a little bit of pressure off for the current players to know, who's going to be leading the way.
You talked about it being a dream to go in the early 2000s, but
Yeah.
is this a dream come true for you to become head coach?
No, it's not. Okay, it's not one of those things that you just say like that's going to define me. I always feel of it. It's more been of like a mission. Having played for Team USA, having been involved in the sport a long time, I feel good about the fact that that we should feel secure in the fact that there's not going to be any craziness that goes on. We'll be in a very, very mild approach to what we've always done, a very consistent approach. I think that's what the players are used to right now. And so maybe without upsetting the apple cart, we now have established consistency over the next 2 years. You kind of know what you're getting into and know what you have. So I think as an athlete, that bodes well, and hopefully we can continue that.
To be a part of that reinstatement of softball after so many years, what does that mean to you?
That was exhilarating. To me, I'm getting goosebumps right now. I'm probably a little emotional because we were dead in the water, as a sport. And I remember sitting in front of the computer at my house when they had the vote. And my daughter kind of videotaped it, and she could hear me yelling and screaming, that we got back in. And I'm sure all the players in the world, not just the United States, but Japan, China, Canada, they all were going crazy too when the announcement was, and even the baseball guys that both sports are back in the Olympics at the venue. That was a special day. That was a really, really special day.
You've built so many relationships as a coach for Team USA over the years. We have a Japanese team here playing USF just this season. What does it mean for you, for the IOC, to recognize those relationships and put you in the position that you are in today?
Probably when I'm done, you'll look back and really realize the magnitude of all of those things. Relationships, the games, the players, the championships, the gold medals, the travel on the airplane with how many 40 plus USA players that have been with us since 2009, 10, 11, continue on with us now. I think you look back then and go, that was pretty special. It was almost like after 2004, when we were in the process of winning the gold medal, you really didn't have the understanding of the magnitude of it until you were actually on the airplane 5 days later going home, going, holy smokes, we're the best team in the world, you know. And now, after all these years, you know, I keep hearing about, wow, you know so much, and you've seen so many people, and you've seen so many games. It's everyday work coming through the doors here at USF also about just continuing on for that day. But like I said, I'm sure one day I'll be sitting on the beach, you know, and have a pineapple drink with an umbrella in it going, wow, what a journey, you know. But right now, there's too much going on to do that, so.
You've balanced USA softball and USF softball for about a decade now.
It's about 19 years, actually.
The Olympics is a different beast where you have to emphasize more with USA softball, or you have to increase your workload with USA softball.
Yeah, no. If I told you that, like, right after the World Championships, even though I may not have been given, you know, the job yet, I think it was really responsible for me to continue in the job that I was at, was deciphering all the information still, putting together the plan for the next 2 years, no matter who took over, that you would just hand off the component of power to that person, whoever it might be, but you did your due diligence because of your loyalty to the USA program. So everything is in boxes and stacks and videos and everything else to hand off. Except I don't have to hand it off now, which is great, right? So, but the work now just got heavy. And thank goodness, and I'm very, very grateful that USA Softball decided to wait till after the regionals were over for us, and we didn't really want it to be announced until after the College World Series if they were going to do it, but it is what it is. And yeah, the workload got crazy right now, and so it's going to be real important for myself and Michael Kelly, the athletic director of USF, to sit down and map out a game plan for my two assistants in Jess Moore and Laura Ricciardoni, and then our support casts, to see how we're going to handle this as going forward. I think we've got some pretty good plans. Michael's very, very astute at what's going to happen with myself in the capacity of what the NCAA compliance is going to allow. And then obviously Craig Kress, Executive Director, USA Softball, and our National Team Director, Chris Sebrin, also have the plan of what we're going to do. And this is going to be a lot of table talk over the next couple of weeks, and then have a plan in place for sure by July 1st.
During that long period between Olympic Games that you were kind of waiting, how did you stay motivated? How did you keep the team motivated through all that?
It's a great question, Tommy, and I think if you know me, and you have for a while, it's about the game. It's about today and what the task is today, you know. And so for me right now, my task is the first day of practice, June 10th in Chicago for Team USA this year. We're not going to worry about the Olympics. You know, we've got a Japan Cup this year. We've got the Pan Am Games this year. We have an International Cup this year. And so that's part of the evaluation process of who's going to be in that final 15. And I think if you really think about that aspect of it, all the great players in the United States of America that play softball, there's one national team with 15 spots. Okay, now think about that. Once again, it's times how many college teams there are, you know, by the roster sizes, and then go to Division II, and then go to Division III, and then go to junior college, NAIA, and then how many women's programs there are, and how many high school players there are that play the game. There's 15 women that are going to represent the United States of America, and I'm sure that everybody's going to be on board supporting those women as our quest goes. So, but today's today, and we'll worry about Tokyo in Tokyo. I mean, that's it, right? You can't get too crazy about it, but all you can do is start preparing and planning each practice session and each tournament moving forward.
How big is the selection committee for picking that roster? Are you the guy that signs out?
Well, no, the selection committee is actually very, very aware of what goes on. You know, they go on not just, you know, who goes to trials that year, but they use context. And, you know, if you think about this, right, you could have one of your best players over the last 10 years or 11 years go to a 4-day trials and maybe not perform up to the standards of the numbers. But think about this. If Derek Jeter, you know, after 12 years went to spring training and hit a $143, I still think he's going to go to Yankee Stadium on opening day. You're not going to leave him in AAA. So history has a lot to do with how we do. and how we perform. Okay, these are not all-star teams, and that's very tough for a lot of people to swallow. But these are not all-star teams. These are women, professional women that play this game, and the maturity level is a big, big deal when you're going up against other women in other countries. Okay, so it's a big situation for us to continue to cultivate that.
Coach, I know you said you want to worry about Tokyo when you get to Tokyo, but one of the things that gives me goosebumps is thinking about walking in the opening day ceremonies wearing the red, white, and blue. What are your thoughts on that?
Okay, so I think there needs to be a reality check on that one also, okay? So let me give you some context on 2004. So people don't realize when you watch the Olympics on television, you're seeing a package situation, right? So when you see the opening ceremony, you're seeing it start at 9 o'clock at night, and then TV goes off at 11:30. People don't realize that the athletes start lining up at 1 p.m., okay? And they're standing around all day. So if you have a game the next day, you lost your legs, right? So 2004, we did not participate in the opening ceremonies because we played the next day. And the schedule right now, from what I see, is that we are actually going to open up 2 days prior to the opening ceremonies in Fukushima. And a bullet train back on day 3, which I believe is the opening ceremonies, and then we play an additional 4 days. So more than likely, we will be watching again the opening ceremonies and standing around and having some salsa and chips and some soft drinks as we watch our USA teammates participate in that. But it's still the aura of the village when you get there. It's still the aura of, wow, you're right next to the best gymnasts in the world. You're right next to the best basketball players in the world. You're right next to the best athletes in track and field. And you get to see them practice at the village before they go and do their stuff at their venues. So it's a really exciting time for people to realize once you get there that you are on par in your sport with the best in the world. Those are fun things. And then some of the players will have the opportunity to stick around for the closing ceremonies. I can already tell you what my plan is. The only thing I know is my plans personally. As soon as the games are over, I'm going to be taking the first plane home and headed someplace for about 2 months where the phones will be off no matter what we do. Okay, it's not really going to be about me if we win a gold medal. It's going to be about the players. So I'm not the guy you want to interview. I'm not the guy you're going to talk to. I'm the guy that's going to a beach away from everybody and is only going to have one person going to have my phone number. So that's it. So.
You talked about the impact of having, I know you had like good national team tryouts in Clearwater earlier this year, but what this is going to bring to Tampa Bay
Yeah.
as far as like being able to see these Olympic caliber
Yeah.
athletes right
Yeah.
in their neck of the woods.
It's amazing opportunity right now for a lot of our athletes at USF that we have players filter in during the year to practice and work out and get to be on the same field with our USF athletes. And then the area itself, Tampa Bay, with Rob Higgins, running what he does downtown, and then Kevin Dunbar over in Clearwater. We've provided a lot of opportunities for Team USA to come in here and train and work over the last 3-4 years. And now Michael Kelly is also talking to me about negotiating things, about players here and staying in training here and this and that, because it is a good opportunity for all the young women in the Tampa Bay area to see some of these great players. And I wouldn't be surprised if we try to put together some packages where we're playing exhibition games against Team USA out here in the softball stadium or the baseball stadium, because softball might not be able to hold the crowds that you have. So I would be looking forward to the future on that tour and that scheduling tour that would open up a lot of opportunities for this area to cheer on some of the greatest players that ever play the game.
Anything else for Coach? We also have our AD Michael Kelly here who's going to make a statement as well.
Yes, just really briefly, I just want to express our tremendous pride in Coach Eriksen and his staff for the successful season they had this year, and to hear this announcement about Coach being able to lead Team USA into the Olympics is just such a tremendous honor for him. A great credit to his staff, and certainly a great badge of honor for not only USF, but to me, I do believe for the entire Tampa Bay area. As I've expressed to others, everyone always loves to watch the Olympics and kind of learn more about the men and women that are representing our country. And in this case, the human interest story is local and here, and one of USF's own to to have our local community follow him and follow the team into to representing the world on the greatest stage. So Ken knows that has my full support as we look into the next year together in terms of how it'll impact his availability, how it'll impact his staff, who I have tremendous faith and confidence in, and all in all, I just know it's a tremendous opportunity for USF, for Ken, and for the Tampa Bay community, and we just couldn't be more proud and excited for him. So if you have any questions for me, great, but otherwise I just wanted everyone to understand that, yeah, there'll be adjustments, but with in the full spirit of bull speed ahead. This is an opportunity you can't pass up, and you can't pass it up personally as a program or as a university, and we're awfully proud of Ken and know we'll work it out well with our staff and with our student athletes.
Michael, you talked about packages, potential packages for, bringing people here to USF. I mean, that would be huge for the university to have, again, Olympic caliber athletes here at the university. I mean, what are your thoughts on that?
Oh, I think it's tremendous. We will continue to look at every opportunity that realistically can come from this, but just knowing that, hey, just like USF is hot, USF softball is hot, the sport of softball is hot. Just look at the viewership numbers, look at the way the attention to the sport has garnered in recent years to go to a new level. Watching it, our team so closely, even this past weekend, you just sense nationally just the interest in the sport, the amazing athletes that play it, and the stories that go with it. It's a fast-paced game. People enjoy it, and the fact that we get to see the world's best to kind of mix with our student athletes, to be able to have them exposure to see who the world's best play at, as they already see already with their coaching staff and people that have been associated with our program. So it's a huge win for us, and I think for the young women that play softball that are coming up, that aspire to be Bulls in the future, that aspire to be Olympic team members in the future, this is just another great exposure opportunity for them to see the sport being played at the best level. But we're just proud of what it means for our program and what it exposes us to, and how it makes just puts that much more credibility into the success that we continue to have as USF softball.
I mean, I know it was just announced today, but how much do you hunker down at this point with USA softball, with guys like Rob Higgins? How much do you guys get together almost as soon as possible to make sure that there's some kind of presence at USF in the Tampa Bay area?
Sure. Yeah. At this point, it's really just what I've learned from Ken and having great conversations with the leadership of USA Softball as they've come to reach this great decision. And as the timeline comes together, we'll see what opportunities there are for training, for exhibitions, for other things here at USF or in Tampa Bay as a whole. But as you mentioned earlier, we already saw a great opportunity for our team to play against Japan last year, and what that was able to do. And I'm sure there'll be similar opportunities for that in the year ahead.